Hey, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Black Girl Interrupted. You know it's your girl Ashley.
And I'm
Tonight we tonight we're talking about relationships. We're talking about husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend relationships because you know what? Huh? We go through interruptions daily. Joining me tonight, I got my sister Keish. Hey, boo.
hey. Hi.
That's the CEO of Colors by Keish and Keisha's Corner. Don't forget to tune in and see us every Friday night at 8:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Central Time for the Girl Talk.
Mm,
Huh?
and wine. Bring your own bottle.
BYOB here.
Okay.
BYOB. As y'all can see, I had to let my hair down for this one tonight, baby. Because
Mm-hmm.
when I tell you, these relationships got my cup and I'm ready because tonight it's about healing. It's about letting go and moving on. So, how you doing tonight, sis?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready to talk about these chapters we're getting ready to close.
Oh Lord, baby, when I tell you, I'm ready to let go, but I'm not ready to let go, but I know I have to let go. You understand what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
That's
So
all a part of healing.
I know it. I know it. But like I say, we talk about relationships tonight, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. That's what we're talking
Sockets.
about tonight. So, without further ado, I'm ready to jump right on in and get to my first question. So, sis, I need to know what's your definition of a healthy husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend relationship? Like, what's your definition? You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me, what do you think makes a healthy husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend relationship? And explain the difference between being a husband and a wife and a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
Well, my definition of a healthy relationship is just being open and having that communication amongst each other, and most importantly, not going to sleep mad. And I'm married now to my loving husband. We've been married for like a year and some change,
Oh,
and it's definitely a difference because I know, right? With a husband, I think it brings more. You have to bring more to the table, which is no problem because that's your husband. It beats just like you know. Let's say this. How they used to say, some things you do for your husband that you don't do for your boyfriend, but at the same time, like how would you know, right?
you're right.
You would know if you by doing these things if he would want you as a wife, but you just have to be careful who you give those wifely duties and who you do it for. See what I'm
Or,
saying?
or them husband duties. My
Um,
definition of a healthy husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend relationship, just to really kind of piggyback off of what you just said,
mhm.
you know, don't commit to somebody that's not ready. If they're
Oh,
not
okay.
mentally ready, if they're not emotionally ready, have options. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying be a polygamist and all that other crazy stuff, but have options until you find the one that's ready to be the husband or ready to be the wife. Communication is definitely key in, having a healthy relationship, and again, like you say, not going to bed mad. um
Absolutely.
Another thing, how I define your, I guess, your twin flame, I've heard things, find someone that you're equally yoked with. you know that's a healthy relationship. You do things together where you also continue to have a life outside of your husband or your girlfriend. Husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, still hang out with your homegirls from time to time. Fellas,
Yep.
still go hang out
That
with the fellas. Just don't cut everybody off because you're in a relationship or you're in a marriage. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to lose yourself in this relationship or lose yourself in this marriage.
end up alone. It's all about balance.
That's it. Respect definitely gives you a healthy relationship. Respect,
Right.
love, all of that gives you a healthy relationship. I mean, I could use like my past relationships. haven't been healthy for me. I think I've only had maybe in the 40 plus years I've been on this earth, I think I've only had one healthy relationship. One. In 40 plus years I've been on this earth, I've only had one healthy relationship, and I messed that up. You know. But as we go on into our episodes, girl, we gonna talk about that.
We
Because
have to.
I had a good man. Like he was so good to me. I mean, he was wonderful to me. He was husband material. Like, as I say, as we get into the stories,
Women
we
mess
gonna
up
talk about
too now. So it ain't just women who, just be like mess up a good thing. We do. So fellas, we
oh
don't put
yeah.
all the blame on you.
Because I
So,
and then too, I brought a lot of baggage into that relationship. You know what I'm saying? It was like I say, as we go on and we talk about relationships, I brought a lot of baggage into that. I was just coming out of an abusive relationship. And so it was like I was really kind of looking for that safe place in regards of, oh my God, he's a good man. But he really truly was a good man. Despite everything that I did, but despite all the craziness, he was still there for me. You know what I'm saying? Like he still tried to make it work till finally he was just like, you know what, Ashley? I can't do this with you no more. Like you got a serious problem. But at
right.
that
Hey,
time,
hey.
so, so sis, what do you see like as a healthy relationship? Like you've given your definition. Would let me ask you this, not to get too personal, and you don't have to share if you don't want to. Do you feel like you and your husband have or had? No, let me change that. Have a healthy relationship.
To be honest, not gloating on it. I think we do. Only because when something is wrong, we can express that to each
Mhm.
other, and we have the opportunity to be like, okay, well, this and that, or I'm sorry for making you feel this way, or vice versa. So I can say we do have that open communication, and I know a lot of people, when we get married, oh, you so young to be married. But you know what? You take that and you learn from other marriages to always have that open line of communication. Never go to bed mad, even though sometimes we do.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, I wake up. I still love my husband. Nothing is not gonna change. I'd rather just talk about it eventually. But one thing we do know, we'll address it. But I say yes, we have that open line of communication, and it just yeah.
Oh, so okay, so I see somebody comment. He said he went through that with his old homie. He showed his true colors once he got a girlfriend and he switched up. And and you know what? And just like we said, that's what we do. We tend to, when we get in a relationship or we get married, it's almost like, okay, you cut out the ones that have been there, and again, you don't consume yourself so much in your marriage or in your relationship that you forget the people that were there for you when you were alone.
Right. And
You
then
know,
now you're alone because you don't have your homeboy or your homegirl to talk to. We still need somebody to vent to. So, uh, yeah, friends do
so
that.
so
Some
let me ask you this, sis, because you're married. I've been engaged twice. I've been in long-term relationships. So let me ask you this. Do you see a difference in being a girlfriend versus being a wife? Do you see a difference?
I, in my current speaking for myself, in my current relationship, no, because we've been together for a couple of years before we actually got married. So we've gotten to know each other. We gotten to do that. So I just we just got married. My last name just changed from Mills to Smith. So other than that, I don't see a difference because we start dating, we got to know each other. But I don't understand how some people say after you get married, it changes. I can honestly say my first year of marriage was just the same as it was when we were dating. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. My last name just changed. So
Okay. So I mean, and speaking from me being engaged, I've been engaged twice. Um, and it really truly is a big difference,
mhm.
between being even just a fiance, a fiance, a wife, a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband. I could really truly say that when I was engaged to the last guy that I was dating, it was real difficult. You know what I'm saying? Because it was almost like, okay, we got this wedding date set. We're trying to get everything planned, but then it's like I had people in my ear, they were saying, "You sure you want to marry him? You sure you want to marry her?" So it did change for me. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, I was very honest I'm gonna be very honest when I say I did really kind of shy away from my friends because I was really trying to focus on my fiance. You
Right.
know, even though I shouldn't have done that, but it was like, and I know it doesn't come with a manual on how to be a fiance or how to be a wife or husband, girlfriend, boyfriend. I know it doesn't come with that, but I was really trying to focus and make things work, get things together with me and him because it was like, I'm planning, we got a whole wedding to plan. We got a whole year to get this together. We had just moved into our own, our apartment, everything. So it was really kind of all over the place.
Right.
So I think the next relationship I get into, um, I'm gonna weigh my options. I'm gonna date. I'm not just gonna find one guy and be like, oh yes, this is gonna be my husband. So I'm gonna really get out there and see what's up. Not right now though, because
Take your time.
I know it, baby. Because Alvin, come on, baby, you're watching me tonight. I'm speaking you into existence. Number 41 for the New Orleans Saints. I just had to throw that in.
Oh, wait, wait. Well, somewhere right here on this. Yeah, right there.
There you go. I just had to
Okay.
throw that in there and let him know. I woo that for life.
Exactly.
I
No
just had to
other
throw
way.
that. Really, truly did. So, all right, sis. So I got another question for you and for the viewers. I really want to know, what are the struggles of maintaining a healthy relationship?
You know what? They say that a lot of things in relationships, and the first one is communication. Second
Mm-hmm.
one is finances. So just having that open line of, what's going on, you have to be strong when it comes to stuff like that. Like you have to be willing to stand through the storm,
Mm-hmm.
because some people not as strong to be like, you know what, I can't do this, and then you're leaving because you're overwhelmed. That's not fair for the other person. If you're gonna do this together, you have to do it together. So one thing, before me and my husband got married, we actually sat there and talked like, you sure is this something that you want to do? We had that conversation, communication. Where your head at with this? Well, my
Okay.
head is here. Where your heart at? My heart is here. I love you. You love me. Just communication and finances.
So
Open
let me.
line.
So just to kind of piggyback off of what you said and to elaborate a little more, one of the biggest struggles that I had in my last relationship was distance. It was hard
Hmm.
to try to maintain a healthy relationship because I lived in one state, he lived in another. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that long distance relationships can't work, but it was a struggle to maintain a healthy relationship simply because insecurity came into play. Um, we didn't know how to communicate. It was we argued instead of discussing what we had going on. It was like with me that I'm very guilty of this because I'm an aggressive person. I'm a Sagittarius, so we're aggressive. And it was like, no, I don't want to hear what you got to listen to me. Like what I say is what goes. So I was always over talking him. I was real dismissive of what he had to say. He was dismissive of what I had to say. Another struggle that we had trying to maintain our healthy relationship, family got in the way. It was like you're running down and you're telling your family everything that's going on in our relationship. I'm telling my mama what's going on in our relationship. I'm telling my friends what's going on in the relationship instead of talking to you. So that was a struggle for both of us, not just me,
Cause you
but
got
it's because we feel like family knows what they're talking about.
right.
They're older, so they know they've been in these relationships. So it's like you listen to them. That was struggle. Another thing that struggle was finances. It became, he had a traumatic event happen in his life. So it's like he did a complete 360. So then it became, I'm carrying the weight, not just for me, but for you. And that was unfair to me. So that led to more arguments. That led to just an abundance of things, you
Right.
know. So let me ask you this. When you and your husband first got together, when y'all were just boyfriend and girlfriend, what struggles did you encounter trying to maintain a healthy relationship?
Distance was actually one of them because before I got a chance to see my husband, we were together away from each other 3 years. We started dating August 2011. I didn't see my husband till August 2014, and that's a Saints Falcons game. So yeah, that was hard. That
So
was hard.
before you, not to interrupt you, but before you go forward, why so long? If you don't
You know,
mind me.
if we were young, so it was finances. I would have to catch flights because I really did. I wanted to experience something different. So I would actually go to Atlanta because I mean I've been in New Orleans my whole life. So
Mm-hmm.
I wanna go to Atlanta. I want to see something different, and that actually played a big part in me moving here because again I wanted to see something different. So after that first visit, I kind of took multiple trips there. The meanwhile I'm coming there, I'm like, okay, I want to live here. So it took the last trip for us to actually cry because we really didn't want to leave each other. For me to be like, you know what, I'm coming back. August 2015, I'm gonna say October 2015. I'm sorry. I ended up moving to Atlanta.
Okay.
Not too long after, you know, we welcomed a baby boy.
I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember, I remember when you and Antonio first got together, because like he's been my little brother for a long time. Like when I tell you he been my baby, not in that sense, but
I got.
he's been like, he's literally been my little brother. And so I remember conversations with him, in regards to when we go back and like I say, when now we're talking about the struggles, family was one of the struggles in y'all's relationship in the beginning, you know, and sometimes family may be right, but sometimes family not always right. If you go back and not again, because I want you to continue your story.
Right.
Go back and watch the movie Acrimony. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Prime example, struggles of
Right.
maintaining a healthy relationship. She didn't believe in him. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like she made him feel less of a man because she did all of this, but in the end, you allow somebody else to reap the benefits because you listen to your family.
Yep.
So family is definitely a big struggle in trying to maintain a healthy relationship. I say this: leave family out of your relationships. I'm gonna say that again and again and again and again and again. Leave family out of your relationship because family don't know what goes on inside of relationships. Yeah, we're all guilty of it. When we go and we talk to family and oh yeah, girl, he just da da da. And once you put that bad taste in somebody's mouth, that person never tastes the same again. It don't matter if y'all get back together. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Right.
So once you put that bad taste in somebody's mouth, you can't convince them otherwise. So I say, keep family and friends out your relationship. Only you and your husband, or you and your boyfriend, or girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever. Only y'all know. Fix it. Okay, so enough of me ranting. Come on with the rest. Come on, finish, girl. Tell me. Come on.
So it was actually another thing. It was the insecurities. It was to the point where I almost really didn't trust him. If we were going to make this work long distance, I had to be able to. It's like we would talk on the phone for so long, and yeah, he had female friends, but it was, female friends. But it's I some things I couldn't just get with. It just wasn't sitting right with my spirit.
Why? Was it
So
something he did? Was it something they did?
that too, it was something they did. It was something they did that made them feel as if they were comfortable enough to do that. But and that was addressed. And I honestly can say after that we never had another issue. Never. It was me and nobody else outside of family. No other females. It was me and nobody else. And same with him. I knew I had a boyfriend. No, he's not here, but I treated as if he was.
Mm-hmm.
I respected my relationship as if we were staying together like we are now. So that was kind of like the two challenges I faced without, just being distant. Besides the long distance, it was definitely insecurities.
Okay. Well, I mean, I will definitely say again my struggle, and I'm gonna speak on my last relationship, the relationship I just got out of. The struggles we had, insecurities. It was female sending me messages. Oh, he's doing this. Oh, he's doing that. So it was like, and then I had his family saying, "Oh yeah, he messed with this girl. He met." So it was like I didn't know what to believe because I was living in Atlanta and he was in that state
Whatever it
that we lived.
was, yeah.
So um, that was a struggle for me. And then it got to the point where females started sending me messages. But it's like you want to believe him because this is babe,
It's
this
a
is my
husband,
boo.
yeah.
Oh, these girls just hate. So again, that was definitely a struggle. The distance, the insecurities. Although he made me feel secure because I started traveling back and forth to see him before I actually moved to where he was. Um, so it was like I would see him and he was like, babe, it's only you. I don't want nobody else. So I was like, okay. Then we started, it was like once we got closer to the time for me to move to where he was, the communication got a whole hell of a lot better. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Communication got better because it was like he was like, babe, I love you. And I would tell him, you gotta trust me. Like I only want you. So the lines of communication got much better as it got closer for me to move to be with him. You know what I'm saying? So it was almost like,
Okay.
what's the word? Like I'm getting ready to be with my bed every day. Like I don't have to
I
worry
was
about.
excited too, girl. I know.
So it was like, but it was me moving to where he was. I didn't want to move. I really wanted him to come to Atlanta, but unfortunately, his job was where he lived. So it was like it's not like he worked for a company that he could transfer to. So it was like, you know what? I got laid off in Atlanta. Let me just come where you are. You know what I'm saying? And then I
Right.
could just build from there. Another struggle that we encountered, whew, sex. The sex.
Uh-oh.
Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. In the beginning, the sex wasn't all that good. It was not. It was not. And
Because
I
you
can
have to
I
show
can
them what
even
you
say
like.
that. And the reason I say it wasn't good is because all these problems. So I think sex is also a struggle of maintaining a healthy relationship because you got to have some sex, baby. Like you got to, because if you know somebody else will, and I'm just
It
telling you,
is to
a
it
little,
is just as important as everything else too. Yeah.
absolutely. So it was like when we first slept together, it was just kind of, I guess maybe because the first time, I wouldn't really say I don't know. He was drunk the first time, because no, I just say that because I came down for his birthday. That was the first time that we saw each other. And so we had went out for his birthday. Like he was turned, and I was like, hey, it's your birthday. Because like we were friends. And the good thing about it, we were friends before we even got into a relationship. Like he had been trying to pursue me for like over a year. And I was like, boy, he was like, I'm gonna send you some money for your kids. I said, okay, well, where the money? So it was like, you know, boy, whatever. Anyway, so how we ended up linking up was he called me on Facebook Messenger, and I'm laying on the couch, girl. I got my bonnet on, girl. I'm looking boo crazy, and I can laugh because it's a
Funny
hilarious.
now.
And so he was like, "Oh no, I didn't mean to call you." I was like, "Ooh, let me call you back, girl." Like I had to get presentable. Like, ooh. So anyway, so from that day, we started communicating. And he was like, "Well, when you gonna come down here and see me?" And I remember the Saints Falcons game. I had went live. That was the day that Matt
Time out. Time out.
picked. That was December 2015.
Look up, that's a year after me and my husband. It did hold up. Here's the thing. I don't want to interrupt you. It goes down in the Facebook DMs, don't it? Because that's how I met mine.
Okay. Like he would like my pictures. He would comment, be like, "You're so beautiful," blah blah blah. And I was like, "Well, whatever." I had never really looked at his page. We had been friends on Facebook, I know, for like over a year. So I finally went to look at his page. I was like, "Okay, he's kind of cute." He dog. Okay. So anyhow, so we really started talking. So the Saints and the Falcons played. Matt Ryan threw a pick, and baby, that's what won the game for us. I had gone live, baby, because we had talked. I was late getting down to the stadium because we was on the phone the night before till like 4 day in the morning, girl, just talking. So finally he was like, when you gonna come see me? And he was like, my birthday coming up. I said, I'm come down there for your birthday. He was like, oh no, you ain't coming. You ain't coming. Booked the hotel room, came down there. So, and I can laugh about this now because it's so hilarious. So I get to where he lives, and I'm calling him. I'm like, okay, where you at? Where you at? He was like, oh, I'm here. I'm here. And I go where he told me he was, and Negro, where you at? So he was like, no, I'm over here in my homeboy house, blah blah blah. So I go over there. Girl, he come out in the middle of the street. Girl, I'm about to run him over with the car. And that was his birthday weekend. So we hung out, so he got turned, girl, he was drunk. I was like, but what really threw me out, because I'm not a club person. So
Right.
me, I like to dress up. I put on heels, like I was cute. Girl, I felt so overdressed at the club he took me to. I was like, he was like, oh, you the bougie, huh?
Yeah, I missed the memo.
I was like, I could have kept on what I had on when I came down. I had on jeans, tennis shoes. I could have wore that.
Yeah, that
So
wasn't no
anyway,
club. That was a hole in the wall.
girl. So fast forward. So like that weekend when I came down, I met his family. I was like, but we not even. So at that point, like I was like so impressed with the way he was. I excused him for being drunk. It was your birthday. You turn up, do whatever. So he was like, oh yeah, we're going by my mama house. Huh?
Uh-oh. You get to meet mama.
Oh, okay. And from that day on, like we continued on with the relationship, and we had, like I say, we had a beautiful relationship. I mean, outside of the other females and the insecurities and the communication and arguments and stuff like that, and what really just solidified and made me know he wanted to really be with me is because I gave him an ultimatum. I'm like, I'm always coming down to see you. You need to come see me.
Right.
Period. He was, and I told him, I was like, I'm done with this. Like, I feel like I'm giving more. So he proved to me. That's what made me say, you know what, this babe, this gonna be my husband. Like this babe right here. So he flew to Atlanta to see me. He sent me the money to get his plane ticket, and he came. And that's what made me say, okay, he really truly want to be with me. So
Mm-hmm.
we got over that obstacle again. Like I said, the distance was, it was a struggle. Hold on. Ah, what is talk about something about these saints?
It works. It works.
It works. It
It
works.
works.
The Saints and the Falcons have the best relationships because our relationship was really good in the beginning. Despite everything that we went through, I fell in love with him. He was much younger than me, but
Oh,
age don't matter. You could be, I see it all the time. It is what it is. You know, I fell in love with him. He's much younger than me, but that was big. So that's whew. So you know, we solidified it. I moved, but then it was like I saw a 360. He had a he had a death in the family. Somebody really close, his mother passed away, and it changed. So that was, you know, he became real closed off. So that was another struggle in our relation. You know, trying to maintain a healthy relationship. Is, you know, when something traumatic happens to a person, they shut down, and it's hard to really kind of relate to somebody if you've never experienced a
It
devastating
yourself.
loss or something traumatic like that. So you really have to be considerate of your me.
And it's not only that, it's on how they deal with it too, because I had my dad who passed, and I kind of dealt with it okay. You know, of course we cried and stuff. And the last days me and my dad spoke, it kind of made it at ease for me. So it's all on how you deal with it too, because honest, that person can still be grieving, and this is their way of grieving. I.e., for example, Kanye.
Okay.
So
So let me ask you another question, sis. Just your opinion. Knowing, so from the outside looking in at my relationship, because you know my ex-fiance, you know, y'all are really good friends. I mean, he consider you like a sister, everything. You know, you're my sister, your husband is my brother, you know. It looked good from the outside, didn't it?
he did.
And we had fun together. That's another thing. Have fun with your partner. I'm sorry, I had to jump on it. I'm not trying to jump all over the place, but that's another struggle maintaining a relationship, a healthy relationship. Y'all, you don't have fun with your partner.
Let me tell you something. Football season was our fun, and then outside of that, we learned how to have fun doing other things. Like right now, believe it or not, he introduced me, and I used to like change the channel. It's the Avengers. Any Marvel movies, we would just go to the movie and just watch. And he introduced me. He was like, "Okay, so now you gotta watch it from here." So I just even like we are so much alike. It's scary. Believe it or not, we are so much alike that it is scary. We
And
antisocial too.
and you know what? Even though me and my ex are no longer together, like I still know the way he moves. Isn't that crazy? Like we were together
that's
for over 4 years, and I still know the way that he moves. I still know the way that he operates, and that's
that's
all.
when you know your partner. You know your partner. You will always know how this person is. The more time you spend with them, it's the more you know. Okay, he's about to chestnut checkers. You know his move before he know. There you go.
Oh yes, even now to this day, and we haven't communicated in about a month now. Maybe it's been a little over a month. Um, I did see him, you know, and it was like, but like talking to him, he's an all around great. I give, despite his flaws, he's a good person. He's got a really good heart. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I loved the most about him was that he had the most giving heart. He had a funny way of doing things, but he had a
Yeah,
really giving heart. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's like why I loved him so much is because despite him being rough around the edges and being flawed, he's a great person. And that's what you want in a relationship. You want somebody you can laugh with. You want somebody you could have fun with. You know, that's a healthy relationship. You
yeah.
also want somebody that prays with you. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody that prays for not only your mental but your emotional. You know what I'm saying? And the physical is gonna come. You know, because once your bodies are in sync, the love making is gonna be bomb, baby. Because let me tell you, that thing no. And I'm sorry, y'all, to be nasty, but that thing know how to hit the spot here. Okay, I thought somebody. thought somebody that was talking about healthy relationships said something. But we got the. But I mean, but really, though, truly, sex helps to maintain a healthy relationship. I'm not saying you got to do it on a schedule. Switch it up. Role play. Make it exciting. But
Let me tell you.
oh,
You know,
oh, I
I'm having
know.
to tell you off camera.
Oh, trust me. Oh, I know, because you know we didn't have this conversation.
Okay. You
So,
get shocked by a lot of things.
so let me ask you. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to comb this little hair, baby. I had to flat iron this hair, baby. I had to let this hair down for the night, because when we get to talking about relationships, I'm trying to close it. I'm not trying, but I'm gonna close the door on a chapter that I should have closed a long time ago. But the heart wants what the heart wants, and love is a funny thing. Do you hear me? So, like, let me ask you this. So, I'm about to jump into the next question, but I want to say something else in regards to maintaining a healthy relationship. I want everybody to know that it's possible. You just have to put in the work to maintain a healthy relationship. Even if that means seeking marriage counseling, you know, having a therapist, you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, put a mediator. If you and your spouse or your mate are at a fork in the road, it's okay to go and talk to a counselor, because they will help you. Well, I'm sorry, give you the tools to get that relationship back on track, so that way that relationship stays healthy. So I do want to say that. Don't never be afraid. Everybody does it. You know, they sit down and have brunch and roundtable discussions. So I do encourage that. I do encourage. Don't go talk to family. Don't go.
Nobody you don't know. Friends, nobody. Nobody you don't know. I'm gonna say I think I wrote the talk to someone you don't know. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it
Okay.
right that time. Because you was like, talk to your friend. I was like,
No,
well,
that's what I wanted to say. Talk to somebody you don't know.
absolutely. Talk to somebody that's neutral,
Yep.
somebody that's not biased. You know what I'm saying? Because family, friends, especially if it's your best friend. That's like if you come to me and be like, girl, let me tell you about him. Girl, he da da da. I'm not gonna give you advice, because I don't know what it's like to be married. So I'm gonna be the wrong person, you know. And I let me say this. I'm not a person that advocates for people divorcing and all that, because baby, I'm all for black love. Black love, that's what I advocate for. So
I
if your relationship is salvageable, save it. Because baby, these black love, long-term relationships are so rare these days.
yep.
So before I even jump into the next question, so let me ask you this, sis. Your husband cheats, or your wife cheats, or your girlfriend cheats, or your boyfriend cheats. Let me ask you this. How do you mend that broken relationship? Let me ask you that.
See, and you know what? It's gonna be a lot of pieces to pick up because you're like, okay, you cheated once. How do I know if you're gonna cheat again? Secondly, you over here, you're like, how am I gonna be able to trust you? So why did you feel that? What made you cheat on me? What am I not doing for you to cheat on me? Like, is that question for answer? Because a lot of people be like, you know what, get your shit, get out, we done. But
So
then it's hard to throw away a relationship that you got years in. Cause I've
okay.
seen some relationship where the husband or either wife cheat, they work it out. I don't know. To be honest, that's hard. I mean, you can talk about it, but where's your heart gonna be at? Will you be able to trust them again though?
So let me ask you this, because I see this all too often when relationships are broken, and it doesn't necessarily have to be infidelity into why a relationship becomes broken. It could be um a job, you know, your husband or your wife is working, or girlfriend or boyfriend is working all these long hours at a job that could affect the relationship, you know. So another thing in regards to like mending a broken relationship, well, what will break a relationship? Kids. When you have children, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end, when you have a child, it's no longer about you and him or her and him. It becomes about the child. So let me ask you this. Do you think having children can break a relationship? Honestly. Like do you like your opinion, do you honestly believe a baby could break a relationship?
I'm gonna be real honest. It's not coming from me. I say yes because the guy is too selfish
It could be
to
yes and no.
understand. Yeah. So okay, so we're gonna go that yes and
Oh, my
no
sister.
because it
Oh,
depends. I'm here.
there
Uh-oh.
we go.
Oh,
Sorry for the technical difficulty. I think my sister, I don't know.
you see me?
Maybe
I'm
she's
here.
coming back. But okay, there you go.
Oh,
We have Facebook tripping with us tonight. But that's okay. YouTube tripping with us, but we gonna keep it going. So back to my question. So let me reiterate the question. Let me reword the question. Do you think children break a relationship? Do you think finances break a relationship? Do you think outsiders break a relationship? So it's a three-part question that I want you to answer in three parts. And I want to know, I want to hear what you have to say, and then I'm gonna respond to my own question. Like, do I feel like
so in regards to children, are we talking about stepchildren? Because you have some stepchildren who cannot, accept the fact that their mom or dad is with another man or woman, and it's just not ac- accepting to the fact. So I was watching a Bobby Brown movie, right?
okay,
And they were at a table, and he was talking about, this is the new woman or whatever, whatever. And the daughter was very rude towards her, right?
okay,
From that, you'll have either that man or that woman. Here comes the ultimatum. You either tell your daughter respect me, or you and her can leave. So
okay,
in that regards, yes. Now if it's your own child, it shouldn't, but you have some men and or women who become selfish. And what
okay,
I mean by that, all me. Hey, I'm here. It's been about the child since she was born and stuff like that. So yeah. Finances, most definitely.
why?
Okay, because you have some couples, like I said, when times become hard, they're not able to bear that together.
Okay,
Somebody is ready to leave because, hey, what if I came in with money and I decided to be with you and you don't have anything? You know what? This problem is yours, not mine. Do that make sense?
okay. Not to cut you off. Somebody made a comment and said, "What happens when your partner doesn't own up to things that you say are issues for you?" So let me jump back. Let me go back a little bit, and then we'll go back to how do you mend a broken relationship. So to respond to the question, somebody says, well, what happens when your partner doesn't own up to the things that you say are issues for you? So I'm sorry, we're going to go back to struggles of
Mhm.
maintaining a healthy relationship. How do we handle that? Like if I come to you and say, I don't like, let me think of something. What's something that, okay, um, I don't like how you always put your mom in our relationship. How do we address that? Like, how do we handle that?
Okay, I would say, okay, why? Why you feel that way? Okay, then that's when you create the understanding. Even though you shouldn't, but then you create the stuff. This is why. Because if you go to this person and you say this, you're gonna make it hard for me and her. It's gonna always be that bad blood, or I don't think you're good for my daughter when I could be the best thing. But let's work our issues out amongst each other. And then that's when you create the understanding, like, okay, I see what you're saying. If I like this, for example, if I go tell, oh, I broke up with him, he ain't shit, blah 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 blah, like you telling your friend he ain't shit, and then next week you back with him. That's why you don't do it in the first place. Because if you gonna go back, don't go waste your time.
But that goes back to when I said, once you put a bad taste in a person's mouth about somebody, they never taste the same. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter if they change, they still side eyeing this person and like, girl, I remember when he did this, or boy, I remember when you remember when she did it. So it's almost like you have to keep people out of your relationship.
Cause they gonna find their way in there, and they no way they should. You too, you could be arguing, and you could be like, "Did you cheat on my daughter? Or didn't you do this?" That's when it's gonna make matters even worse. So
Well,
at
let me
this,
ask you this.
okay,
How do we break down, because this is something we're gonna work on together, and everybody else. How do you get a person to talk that's not big on communication? Because that's, again, going back to the struggles. If you're with a partner that don't communicate, how do you break down that wall? How do you break down that barrier to open up the lines of communication?
if first of all, is either at this, if you're not talking to me about issues, what are we even doing here? Why are we even in a relationship?
Okay, but
So,
so stop right there. Let me ask you this, because I'm
hmm,
about to play devil's advocate for a moment.
okay.
What if you're the one? Say your partner is trying to talk, but you're like, okay, whatever you say. How would he break down your wall?
Just, I guess, ask me. See, ooh, girl, ask me what's going on. Why don't I talk? What's going on? Why don't you express the way you feel in this relationship?
But
And then,
what if you don't?
and if I
How does
don't,
he
I
break
don't blame him. I don't blame him from leaving my ass. There you go. Point blank. I don't
But you
blame him.
can't be so quick to throw in the towel, because
But
you
how
got
would
to
I know
compromise.
what's going on with my? Exactly. So if I don't say anything, despite this man trying to talk to me, what are we going to gain from this relationship? What is there to talk about? You might as well throw it all away. Then that's gonna get me to talk. I could really be in love with you and just don't talk about my feelings, because there's some men that does that. Some women that does that. That don't open up about a lot. And so what that's gonna leave you in your relationship. If you really love this person, if my husband be like, you know what, I can't do this no more. You don't want to talk to me about what's going on and stuff like that. That will probably make you open up.
So let me ask you this. So again, as we're talking about the struggles, and of course, we're definitely going to get back to how do you mend a broken relationship. Do you? Why would you pursue? Okay, so let's say you and your boyfriend or husband, whatever, y'all are a year into the relationship and y'all are having these communication issues. You knew from the beginning that you have difficulties communicating. You know from the beginning that communication is a thing for you. How do we compromise? Because if this is something that if we really truly want this relationship to work, you have to compromise.
Yep.
So you have to be willing. So one of the things that I'm learning as I go on my journey, um, is I have to be receptive to what you say, and you can't be dismissive of what I have to say, and vice versa. Granted, what you say may hurt my feelings, but in order for us to continue on in our relationship, you got to work through those obstacles that's in the way. So I'm gonna say
Yep.
that. I'm definitely gonna put that out there in the atmosphere. So let's go back or go forward to how do you mend that broken relationship? So your relationship is broken. You've had okay, so y'all have been arguing. He stays out all night. You staying out all night. You come home. You cook dinner. Y'all don't talk. So now your relationship is broken.
Mm-hmm.
How do you fix it? What do we as women, what on our part, what do we need to do to help mend that broken relationship instead of being stubborn and it's whatever, whatever you say. So how do we mend a relationship that's been broken?
The number one thing that causes all relationships to fail: communication. You have to talk about it. When I was having my trust issues, with my husband. We did talk about what was wrong and why I feel that way. All it took for him to just clear it up, make help me understand like what's really going on. And he used to be like, "Why? Well, why do you feel this way? What makes you feel this way? Do I make you feel this way?" And then I tell him again. I don't want to drop names, but I get to okay, this person. I don't like this. I don't like that. It, communication is everything. Because, like you said, if we don't talk, what the hell we doing here?
You're right.
What we
You're
doing?
absolutely right. So again, I can't elaborate enough. Definitely communication is big in mending a broken relationship. Um, but again, both people have to be willing to put in the work. It cannot. It's almost like It's almost like you're trying to push a brick wall. Everybody has to be equally ready to put in the work in order for the relationship to be mended. First, and then another thing is, do you want to fix the relationship? That should be the question number one.
Right.
Do you want to fix this relationship? Is this relationship worth salvaging? You know what I'm saying? Is this relationship worth saving? Is this marriage worth saving? Because if it is, then this is the issues that I'm having with you, and I want to know the issues you've been having with me. And let's work on each issue every day. Let me ask you this. So when you address your issue with your husband in regards to your insecurities, how did you address it? Were you, I don't like this with these hoes and da da da, or was it, you
Probably with
know,
tears running down my face. I just don't like the way I feel like, that you may be interested in this person and not me. And sometimes it was my own insecurities. It was me because why you feel that way. And it's like I'm trying to get around the bush, like I said, without name dropping because I don't want to put nothing
I
out.
know.
Um, it was more of why you around her? If this is your friend, how did this end up this? It was questions that needed answers. So if you want this, just say that. Let me tell you something. In the beginning of my relationship, we actually broke up because of who he started to hang around.
Okay.
And I knew that person's intentions was different from what he thought. And that's the way it ended up. Like I say, I don't they ended
So
up like that. So, yeah.
so let me ask you this, and I love this Q&A that we're doing tonight. I'm
Yeah.
loving the questions and answers that we're doing tonight. Like I'm really truly, like I'm loving it. I'm really feeling it. So with okay, so let me say this. So when you asked him or told him how you felt, did he kind of tap dance around it? Did he was like, I really don't want to talk about, but you tripping, da da da, or was he just like,
He was
you know,
straight to the point
okay,
where I didn't know it was gonna end become this. Like I said, the situation varies, but he was straight to the point, but with no knowledge of. Not saying he was making excuses. I'm not saying that, but it was like I didn't know this person felt this way. When a woman knows, women, a woman's intuition is real. Cause I knew, yes, communication.
I mean, I just don't think we could say it any better. Like, you definitely have to communicate. Like, if there's no communication, like you say, what's the point?
What's the
What's the
point?
what's the point? What's the purpose of us being here? You know what I'm saying? If you can't trust your spouse, your mate, your partner, whatever they call each other these days, babe, boo, well, boo is in my day. That's my little boo. Like Alvin Kamara is my little boo. That's me. Oh, I love that
I'm
man.
big.
Let
That's it.
Alvin Kamara know, y'all, that I love him. Number
Make
41.
sure y'all
No,
tagged him in this video.
He from North Cross, Georgia. He number 41 for the safe. I'm speaking him into existence. He 24, but that's all right. He grown. He grown. Okay.
He
I'm trying to get
grown.
him
He legal.
so so okay. So this is gonna definitely pose my next question as we finish out. So communication, you say, is definitely a way to mend a broken relationship. What about counseling? What about therapy? Are you against marriage counselor or relationship counselors prior to marriage? Relationship, some people are against it. Some people go in and they're like, I don't want to talk to nobody. How the hell they gonna tell me what to say, or they don't know my life? Are you against? Are you for? Or are you against?
You need they require you to get marriage counseling before you actually get your thing. So me and my husband did not do that. So what we did is we asked each other in the beginning, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to get married? We asked her. I think it was more. A lot of people would like to know what's the root, get to their root to their own problem instead
Mm-hmm.
of going to someone to tell them, okay, your problem is this. Where do we go wrong? How can we get back to the good times? Remember, we used to just run around the house butt naked and stuff like that. Remember the time? I'm just doing examples.
I
Got
know it, girl. I remember them times, baby.
you see, and you talk about it, and you see, like, okay, I do remember that. Where did we go wrong? I want to get back to that. I love you. It's either I love you and I want to work this out, or I love you, but I feel this can't work. It's no gray area. It's either
It's either
black.
black or white. I'm right there
So
with you.
I mean, some people, it's not being against it. It's like you want to get to your root of your own problems first before you pay somebody to be like, I think that's our problem. No, we talk about it. What made you happy? And you know what? Again, I'm sorry. I'm going on and on. Remember
No,
this?
you good.
Why did I get married? I believe, or why did I get married to? And how Janet had them write all the good things that he ever done for you on one side, and the opposite side, all the bad things. And if the good outweigh the bad, then you know what you got to do. I think it should be something like that. Because if what are you missing from your relationship?
You
You
know,
figure that out.
but let me say this about kids. It does kind of affect. That is, I won't say affect, but that is one of the struggles because your sex life goes down. You know what I'm saying? And like I say,
I ain't think about
everybody
that.
gonna like you, baby.
You
But
don't
when
get
I
that
had a man,
time.
let me tell you, when I had a man, baby, I was smacking up, flipping, rubbing down. Oh, yes, baby. Ooh.
I
Cause
mean,
that, whew,
let me tell you something. And me and my husband, we haven't been out in a while. So, my mother-in-law, she was like, you know what? Y'all go out, get a room, just go have fun. We got the kids.
mm.
That's shout out mother-in-law for throwing out there, cause
Hey, mother-in-law. Hey.
because it's like it's just been about the kids, and but I can say I'm so grateful to have a husband who be like, I understand and stuff like that. No, we can't do how we shit. That's how they got here. So no, we can't do that right now. But I'm so glad that he understands that he's not like I need it and this and that, because they have some men who's like, you haven't touched me in about 50 years and stuff like that. And that's an exaggeration, but you have those men like that. Like I say, I'm just blessed to have
But
someone who understands.
I wish mine I wish mine understood why our sex life changed. Cause baby, we went from humping like bunny rabbits. Babe, when I tell you we blessed our whole apartment, we couldn't because my baby girl was down there with us for almost 2 weeks. So we couldn't really just, we couldn't bless.
Yeah.
You know, she would I would think she was sleeping. I would get out of the bed because he would be in the living room on the air mattress. And I try to say, and here she come out the room. He was like, damn. I was like, damn. You know, and I did it. You know, my little mama, baby, mama was ready. You
Yeah,
know,
mama was like,
mama, baby,
pocketbook needs
mama
some
was ready.
change.
I was ready, baby, for them legs. I was ready. You know, but unfortunately, you know, um, but I mean, so here we go. And this is something we've all gone through. And this last question is my journey right now. I'm not gonna get emotional, I promise. I may drop a couple of tears because this is the hardest thing that I have to do.
It's all about closing the chapter.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So as we move on, how do you know when it's time to let go and move on? You go first, sis. How do you know?
When it's crazy. You love someone, but you know you're not in love with them. Don't waste nobody time. Their attitude change towards you. You can tell they're just uninterested in you. When they start looking at you and discuss like why this, you can tell by their whole demeanor. Sit down, hey. Obviously this isn't working. It's time to go when the feelings are mutual.
So how do you know? So to say arguments increase,
Yes, definitely.
you start spending more and more time away from the house because it's almost like, damn, I gotta go home. So today, this is how I know it's time for me to let go and move on because he's moved on. I think the thing that hurt me the most is that I knew because we had gotten to a point in our relationship where we no longer were healthy for each other. You know, it became we argued all the time. All the time we argued. It was all we argued over the simple things, finances, sex. Again, because our sex life had really gone down. I had gained weight, so I didn't feel attracted. I didn't feel like he was I was attracted to him. It started to become messages between him and other females. So it was like it became tit for tat. Oh, you doing this, so I'm finna do this. It became tit for tat. Um, I will say this: I don't know if he was physical with anybody. I was not physical with anybody, but when you start communicating with another person and y'all are exchanging sexually explicit pictures, you're cheating.
Right, definitely.
If you're deleting text messages, deleting instant messages, you're cheating. Because again, you should be confiding in your spouse, your mate, and not someone else. So I had done everything. I felt like if I loved him hard enough, he would change. But in the midst of me trying to fix him, I was losing myself. And that goes back to the video, last week's episode. I was dealing with depression and anxiety, and I did not know. So it was like hurt people hurt people. So part of me still wanted because I had built and established so much with this man in 4 years.
Right.
We had went from being friends on Facebook. We had went, I was going to visit him. We moved in together. It was just me and him.
Right.
So life got hard when he left because he became my safe spot. He became my safe space. Even though I couldn't really talk to him, I didn't want to talk to him. I lashed out at him. So he would leave, I would go get him. And so finally, like what really broke our relationship was not just the sex part, but finances. And then the infidelities. And no matter how much he did his dirt and I did my dirt, I still wanted this man because again, I had built this life with him because I just knew
Right.
he was my husband. We were engaged. We had put it on Facebook. I mean, everything. We were planning a wedding, everything. And so today, well, really, I knew last week it was time for me to let go. Well,
Okay.
no, let me take that back. Well, yeah, last week I knew it was time for me to let go because I had finally come to the realization and accepted the fact he's moved on. He no longer wants to be with me, and I have to be okay with that. And I think it would be so selfish of me not to want him to be happy, whether it's with me or anybody else. I think that would be so selfish of me. And so when I saw him last month, about a month ago, I told him, I pray for peace. I want you to be happy, whether it's with me or anybody else. I want you to really, truly, genuinely be happy. And I still pray over him. So, as of today, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna name drop. As of today, and I said I was not gonna cry.
You have. It's okay.
As much as I love you, I have to let you go. I know we're not healthy for each other. We're very toxic for each other because I have a lot of baggage and you have a lot of baggage. So today, I'm letting you go. I'm closing the door on this chapter in my life. As much as I love you, and like I say, love is so crazy, the heart wants what the heart wants, but I'd rather for you, I have to get myself together. Hopefully one day we'll cross paths and hey, how you doing? And keep it moving. But I wish you the best where you are. I really honestly do. I hope that you will change and be better because God designed you to be a great man. I'm not gonna get on here and I'm not gonna bash him and all that other crazy stuff because I could out of anger, emotions, and we do that. When we break up, the first thing we want to do, we want to say, oh, he wasn't shit, oh, he was this, she was that, So I'm not
His
gonna bash.
small.
What'd you say?
That's what they say. His dick small. I
Who
tried to
said it
bleep
was?
myself out. I said that's what they say. That's what they say.
I
You
know
know.
it. We are so guilty of that, but I knew that when he's and so anyway, so back to what I was saying. I wish you the best. Um, you know, I love you. I'm gonna always love you. You'll always have a place in my heart, but I have to move on. I've accepted that you moved on, and now it's time for Ashley to move on because I'm not going into 2021 with this baggage that I've carried all this time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not carrying that with me in 2021. So, and I didn't mean to jump off the subject and the question, but
This is
um
what we came on here for. This is how you close the chapter. You're gonna close it with tears, but you're gonna open it with a new pen, a new book, chapter 1, fresh start. That's what we're doing. That's how you rebuild. You rebuild from the ground up, right? So this is how we picking up the pieces. This is what we have to do.
and I think that's why I had to let this hair down today. Y'all don't judge me. I'm in my whole natural state. It'll probably be back up in a ponytail next week. I don't know. It might be braided. Who knows? Girl, I might be bald headed when I come back on here next week. Who knows?
You know how they say when a woman about to change, she cut her hair. Just saying.
I'm thinking, amen.
Hey,
It's just, I might have it. I might get bald
oh,
head. I
look
might go with a
good.
new hair color, something. But you know, But back to what on the question. So when the communication becomes less and less, when you start spending more time away from the house, and when you feel like you've done all that you could do, and you know that it's just nothing salvageable, it's time to let go and move on. Because why stay somewhere and you're both making each other miserable?
Right. It's
So,
toxic at that point.
whew, toxic ain't the word, baby. So let's go ahead and move on. So we're gonna get down to our final thoughts. Let's get on down to our final thoughts. So tonight, as I close the door on that chapter, it's hard. I'm not
It's
gonna lie.
okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Because I still love him. Even though I know we're not good for each other, but that's okay. It's natural. So our final thoughts tonight was, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend relationship. We definitely encounter a lot of interruptions. We face, financial struggles, in a marriage. We go through children, again, I can't stress enough communication. Like we definitely you have to talk. If you don't talk to
Please.
nobody, talk to your spouse, your mate, your partner, because that's what they're there for. You know, you keep people out of your relationships, family, friends, people that have never been married can't give married people advice because you don't know what it's like to be married. You know, I don't take advice from single people because it's a reason why you're single. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. Funny. No,
Oh yeah.
but really though, um, I'm so glad that I decided to do this episode tonight, simply because I need to close that chapter, and maybe I can finally get to the end of that dream. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can finally get to the end of that dream and maybe understand, gain clarity. So, I mean, again, all my episodes are special. Every last one of them are special. So I won't say this is a special episode because all my episodes are going to be special. Definitely want to let you guys know, tune in every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, because next Tuesday, we're going to continue with relationships, but we're going into mother-daughter relationships. Oh my God. Woo! That's definitely something I'm definitely ready to talk about, is mother-daughter relationship. What's a healthy mother-daughter relationship? How do you repair a mother-daughter relationship? When you're at odds with your daughter, how do you continue to maintain it? What are the struggles we go through in everyday life raising a daughter or daughters?
Right.
So stay tuned next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Set your clock, set your notifications, because we're going all in next week. All right, sis. Okay, I didn't say my final thought. Come on, what's your final thought for tonight? What you think for tonight?
So for tonight, I take from this episode, which is also a teachable one. Um, love on your spouse and your significant other. Always keep that open line of communication. Keep your problems off of social media. Your business is not for everybody.
I forgot that one. I forgot that one. Because that's a struggle right there. Social media. I
We'll
forgot that.
discuss that. That's okay. Keep your problems off of social media. Your business is not for everybody, because next thing you know, you have people in your inbox talking about some, oh, well, this and that. I don't want y'all to take what I post towards my husband. Open line of communication. Love on your spouse. Go on dates. Always talk to each other. See where each other head and heart at. And another thing, follow me on Colors by Keish. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Keish Corner on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
I want to, well, you have to tell, like, sis, you have to tell, what is Keisha's Corner?
Keish
What is
Corner.
that?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, let me get into that. Keish Corner is a podcast where we bring all the conversations and hot topics to the corner, which is my corner. I own that corner. No prostitute. We talking black businesses, ladies week events, hot topics, probably no gossip, but I'm just saying they got another enough gossip sites. I'm bringing highlights to black businesses on my corner store segment. If you know any black businesses that would like to be featured on Keish Corner, send me an email at Keish KESHS corner with a KORNER at gmail.com with your name, your business name, and a couple of products that you would like to be featured.
And although I don't have it scrolling on the screen, I will post all the links in the comment section. Like, share. No, let me change that. Subscribe, like, love, share. Get us out here. Let them know I'm your girl, Ashley. I'm the one that's bringing all the
Like they're
interruptions to the
interrupting.
forefront. Do you hear me? I'm bringing all the interruptions to the forefront. We gonna work through this, ladies. We're gonna go through this. I need you to know. I want you guys to tune in every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget you can follow me at Black Girl Interrupted on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's going to give you all the show information and upcoming events because I'm definitely trying to get some events planned for the new year. Because guess what? Black Girl Interrupted is going to take off. Y'all gonna see me on Black Girls Rock, baby. So again, on a final thought, so I want to start ending my episodes with something positive on every episode, whether it's about what we talked about, but I definitely want to end with something positive. Stop speaking in the past tense and start speaking in the present tense.
Ooh.
So that is my positive note for the night. Stop talking in the past and talk in the present. Manifest what you want. Speak it. Claim it. Speak it like it's already happened.
The tongue
I
is
want people to,
powerful.
guess what? Like I made a post the other day and I told them. So my post was, girl, did you see Ashley on Black Girls Rock? I didn't know Beverly Bond sent her a personal invitation to come and she's being recognized tonight. And I didn't brought my girls with me. Oh, let me not forget. Shout out to my sister Maggie. She's not on with us tonight, but Maggie, I love you, baby. Here. Thank you. 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 So again, stop talking in the past and speak in the present. Manifest what you want. Speak it as if it's already happened. So I definitely want to leave you guys on that positive note for them.
And can I say one more thing?
You can't
Be, be the change that you want to see, and make sure y'all are in those lines. Early voting did start. Go vote. And remember, election day, November 3rd. Go vote, 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 vote. Be the
You
change
know,
that you want to see. Go vote.
see, that's exact. This see, you know what? This is exactly why I needed you tonight because I really completely forgot. Early voting started today
Yep.
in
Well, for
Texas. I think
Georgia, it
early
started yesterday.
yesterday. So let me piggyback what you just said. If you want change, get out there and vote. Voter suppression is real. Okay, I was up there at 7 o'clock this morning trying to vote. The machines kept going down. They was only check. They had one machine checking in 12 people at a time. Do not let that deter you from voting. Get out there and vote. If you want to see a change for 2021, you better get out there and vote today. Your voice matters. Your voice counts. Your vote counts. Stop letting the media tell you that it don't count. It don't matter. Also, another thing that I saw on Facebook, I will post the picture in the comments. If you get a ballot and somebody writes DR or whatever on your ballot, pay attention to that because you know they do not accept ballots that have been written on. That's another way. That's another scam for voter suppression. So pay
And
attention to your ballots.
and another thing, one more thing. In
Come on.
California, they're using false ballot boxes. If you cannot make it to the post office, put it in your mailbox with the flag up. Do not drop in no boxes that are not the post office box. I would prefer everyone to go in, but everybody doesn't have that luxury of a ride to get there. Please be mindful where you put your ballots.
And speaking of rides, I know Lyft is giving 50% off Rise, taking people to the polls to vote. So Lyft, Lyft. I don't know if Uber's doing it, but I know Lyft is doing it. I received the email yesterday. So get out there, rock the vote. Also, I need to go. One of my Facebook followers posted something in regards. There's a website that you could check to make sure that your ballot, when you're mailing your ballot, that your ballot has been counted. It's a website. Again, I did not think even about voting tonight, but mention anything about voting, but pay attention. I will put all the links in the comments. Get out there and vote. Make a change, make a difference. If you want to see a change in the White House, we got to get that man out of there. All right. So again, I want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. Thank you for all your comments, all your love. Sis, I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. Again, I definitely love the Q&A tonight. We had a ball, baby.
I
And again,
loved it.
look, don't forget, because you a mother of a daughter. So if you want to jump on with your girl next week, come on to the Black Girl Interrupted couch. If you want to bring your wine, your coffee, your tea, whatever, because we going into these relationships, mother-daughter relationships, next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be streaming live on Facebook. I will be streaming live on YouTube. So catch me. And I'm going to post. Again, love, subscribe, love, like, share. Let them know we here. So love you, sis. All
Love
right.
you too.
I love you, baby. Love everybody out there on Facebook, YouTube, everybody that tuned in tonight. I love you. Again, God bless every last one of y'all. Again, stop speaking in the past and start speaking in the present.